Suppose for a moment that instead of wings, angels had fur. Instead of feathers, they had scales. One Twin Cities couple believes that angel animals are part of our everyday lives.
Well, many pet owners say caring for an animal can improve your outlook on life. Now a local couple is making a business out of angelic animals and the rewards they bring their owners.
If you're an animal lover, there's a new organization you may want to check out. Alan and Linda Anderson run Angel Animals out of their St. Louis Park home. Now, they devoted their lives to this cause, to not only help animals, but to also raise awareness about what animals do for humans. Specifically, they believe that we have a spiritual bond with our pets and even some wildlife.
Anyone with a pet knows of a special relationship between man and animal, but Alan and Linda Anderson say we have a spiritual connection with animals as well, and anyone that has animals, I think, knows that. In 1996, the Andersons, who have a menagerie, which includes 2 cockatiels, 2 cats, and a dog, founded Angel Animals, an organization devoted to raising awareness about the special bond that we have with animals. And Linda and Alan are nice enough to come on in here. How are you doing?
Very good.
If you've seen, a few months ago, Brad Woodard did a story about these angel animals. You started out just getting these stories together, but really it all started out with you being a police officer. Is that right?
Yes, I was a police officer before we moved to Atlanta before we moved to Minneapolis about 10 years ago, and every call I would go on, often I would find that the only sane creature in the household was the animal, and somehow that stuck with me, and it kind of pointed me in the direction of writing this book. And
a specific scene where there was a lot of mayhem going on and the animal was actually soothing the little boy.
Right, yes, it was a domestic situation, and the parents were fighting. It was really kind of a violent situation, and there was an 8-year-old boy on the couch, and I noticed this dog licking the tears and comforting that boy, and somehow it stuck with me, and then I went home that night, and our own dog, Prana, just spent time with me so I could release all the stress. So it was just, it was a beautiful...
They're big stress relievers. I mean, huge. I have a big dog, Kuvaz, actually, and he, you come home every night, and they're right there at the door, and it makes a big difference in your life, that's for sure. Who do you have here?
This is Cuddles, and she is our sweet little baby that's helped us so often when we do our newsletter, and she likes to help type.
She's a good editor.
Very much so. She's just having a good old time.
So it started out with this newsletter where you've gathered all these stories that people have submitted to you about kind of connections that they've had with animals, and now you've put 100 of these stories in this book that just came out with Barnes & Noble. A couple of the stories as I was reading through, the one I really liked was one about an African gray parrot. And people, if they know anything about African grays, one of the smartest birds out there, live 90 years, have an amazing vocabulary. A gentleman got him who was ailing. Well, it turned out to be ailing. He died. Then they gave him to a little boy, and then on the year anniversary of his death...
Yeah, the bird had never spoken, had never made the sounds of this man before, his voice. But on the year anniversary of his death, to that date, all of a sudden the bird started speaking in the same voice as the man who had been a person before he died.
And they do mimic voices. Yeah. I mean, I used to babysit one, and they mimic them amazingly. We have some video of a gal who had an amazing story with dolphins. Tell us about that.
Willie, how are you, sir?
Somewhere in this world is a cold peacock. We don't want that.
Oh, my.
Hey, Al, this is a lovely Christmas book gift idea. It's called Angel Animals by Alan and Linda Anderson. And if you love dogs and cats, you'll love this. And there's a little blurb Billy Graham says in there that if heaven truly is a place for happiness and God thinks it's necessary for man to be happy with animals, they'll be there. So if you've ever wondered about that, Billy and Ruth, we love you. Merry Christmas. Beautiful people. Anyway, check this out at your bookstore. Angel Animals. Great little book about animals.
Before I get started, there's a photograph of us right here. And the fellow back there that's doing the videotaping, he took that photograph. And he took it like in 2 days. It took how many rolls of film to make sure this birdie and this kitty did not come together in some tragic manner. To make sure this dog looked at the peanut butter and jelly sandwich above his camera with such incredible wide-looking awe. And then Liz right here, this lady right here, was the one who held up the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And to make sure Sparkle, who was very, very much in love with his sweetheart, Sunshine, which is in love with Sweetheart, Sparkle, didn't fly over to join Sparkle on that shoulder. So I want to thank the photographer for the patience, and it was raining. So you combine all that together, and we have our family, Sparkle, Sunshine, Taylor, Cuddles, Alan, and Linda, and Speedy, who is a large tabby, who let us know in no uncertain terms that several scratches and torn shirts that he did not want to be a celebrity kitty. So we are having a really good time with that.
We had 2 grown children, and after our children were grown, our nest was empty, and suddenly it seemed to start filling up with animals. And we decided that we really wanted to do something. You know, a lot of people are hitting that baby boomer stage, and they're kind of saying to themselves, okay, what are we going to do with the next part of our lives? And we decided that we wanted to do something where our lives would have a lot of meaning and purpose. And we sat down and talked with each other and just kind of, thought, as a couple, what could we do if we were to form a golden team? And in this golden team, we would bring more light and sound and love into this world. And we could do it together, and it would be something that we would love to do, and some way that we could share the love that we have for each other and for animals. And so that's kind of how Angel Animals was born.
Some people liked it too much, but they didn't mind. And other grocery stores, and I took... They made for the moment, I guess.
Do you want one?
Stay there, stay there. Look at the camera. Oh, sweet.
Oh, warm. He's so soft. Oh, good boy. Keep on off.
Sometimes we're only home for 24 hours.
She really likes that whole lot.
Abby would.
Thank you.
He would just lay himself across the bench.
It reminds me of a woman who called us about raccoons. She loves raccoons, and they come to her backyard and she feeds them popcorn in a box. And she said, when she's sitting there with them, she's sitting on the back porch and she's feeding the popcorn, they very carefully take a little piece of popcorn out of the box, put them in their mouth, very daintily eat them. But if she gets a phone call and has to run in the house, they tear the throw their heads into the popcorn. But they're very polite when she's there.
Yes, this is a beautiful story of a lady who is blind, and this was her guide dog, Baxter. And Baxter was to the point where he couldn't do the work anymore, and so she had to retire him. And it was a long, slow process where she did that. It was very hard on her because she loved this dog immensely. But she found a home for him that was perfect for him. And after she finally made this transition, she went to see him again, and she realized that this dog was teaching her how to let go, because she took the harness to him, and he wouldn't accept the harness anymore, even though he'd done that for all those years.
Linda, it's you and your husband that have written this, haven't you? Alan, okay. Angel Animals, exploring our spiritual connection with animals. Some very, very nice stories.
There are Angel Animal subscribers all over the world now, and the Andersons have a book coming out next fall. They hope sharing stories of animals being angels will decrease abuse.
Once people's hearts are open to animals, they're going to appreciate them as these precious gifts, and then this will help to reduce animal cruelty.
When an individual respects and loves animals, their respect for all life increases.
In St. Louis Park, Cammie Melton, WCCO 4 News.
That's a cute story.